Hey, this is Michael over at 21st Bee, and you probably noticed by now we are starting to offer the Defender Queen Mating Hive by Apame, except the big difference is when you order them from us, you're going to get them with our frames inside of them instead of the Apame frames. And there's been a lot of questions about what comes with them, how do you use them, so I just wanted to make a little video kind of showing you what you're going to get and kind of how everything works. So when you open up your box, this unit is complete. It comes out as one big piece. I've already undone the latches, but the lid latches on. What you're going to have is 4 separate feeders on top. Standard Apame feeders. You can reverse these for liquid or for dry. I'll take these out. What you're going to notice is it comes in 4 chambers, and this is for making 4 separate queen mating nukes out of this. Here's some covers here that go over your entrances. I'll show that in a minute. But this is what makes this system a little bit different. This is your setup, essentially. Let's move this so you can see it a little bit better here. All right, so what you can do with this, you have a lot of flexibility and a lot of options. So you can run this as 4 separate 4 queen mating nukes. You can also pull a divider, pull a middle divider, make it a 5-frame full-size nuke with 2 queen mating chambers. Or you can pull everything out, make it a full 10-frame hive. Or you can drop one of these back in and make it a 5-frame nuke and a 4-frame nuke. All these divider pieces have different options on them for you. So you can do the solid closed, you can do the actual queen excluder so workers can get through, or you can completely block it off. So that's just going to make a difference if you want workers to go across to help build out frames, if you want queens completely separated, if you're trying to baby a little nuke through. It just kind of depends on what you're doing with them. But all these dividers all have that option on them. So I'll show you the original way this is intended. I want to kind of show you some ways to get them started too, because we've had questions about that. You set these feeders over here to my side. These out of the way. So these entrance covers here, like little rain guards. So let's spin this around. Show you here. So the fronts of these, you can close them up, you can open them, you can have reduced entrances or more full-blown entrances. And there's also these little dials up here. These are other little entrances that you can turn and open up as well. So what you're going to do, and also here's queen status dials. So if you don't remember, if you put in a cell or one that's hatched but that's a virgin, you can kind of use this to keep track of your notes for yourself. What this is going to do is when you put queen cells in here that hatch, you have this closed up. That way your queens come into the holes and they don't accidentally go into the wrong entrance. After they're mated or you're using them for full-size nukes or just other things, you can open this all the way up and put the little rain guard cover on. See if I can do this one-handed. It slides right into here. And then the little dial up here that you use to keep the entrance locked. You also turn this and this will keep your little rain guard locked in as well. Snaps in there better if I have both hands. There we go. So it gives you a place that your bees can get out in the front and fan and not get wet. And it's also a wall for separation. You can run it like this and have your queens come back and mate. But if you're worried about the queen from over here going into the wrong one, what you can do is just, while you're getting them mated, keep this completely closed up and open these 2 entrances out here. And she's not likely going to come to the left and completely go to the right and miss. And also underneath, the bottoms of these are screened and they have vents in them. So you get good air movement through the hive still as the bees need it. So for our purposes, I'm going to show you everything on this with the entrance guards and everything out of the way, feeders out of the way. So this is insulated like a standard Apame hive. It is a little bit bigger than a standard Hive, so you're not going to be able to take like a super off your normal Ape box and put on top of this. This is kind of a one and done, one piece unit. So when you order them from us, you're going to get their Ape Hive in a box sealed up from the factory all by itself. And we're going to ship you a 20 pack of our mini, not mini, but they're kind of a mini frame, our half wide mating frames. These don't have wax on them, just to keep things cleaner while I'm showing you this. But this is standard deep Hive. It's a little less than half width. That way you can put them in. So what you're going to do is you're going to end up putting a queen. You can do it any way you want. If you have a virgin queen you want to drop in, you can. If you have a queen cell that you want to drop in, you can drop that in. If you just, if you need a place, excuse me, if you need a place to bank some queens for a little bit, you can use this to bank mated queens. Just know that, she's going to be laying in these, so when they run out of room, they're going to want to swarm. So you need 16 frames to complete this unit. We send you a box of 20. That way, if you start to run out of room and you're not quite ready for them yet, you can pull a frame out and put another empty in to buy yourself some time. But since these are nice rigid frames, if they start putting honey in them down the road and you just need to hold a queen somewhere, you can stick them sideways and throw them in your extractor, extract them empty and put them back in. So, people ask, how do I get these started? There's a few different options. There's different ways I like to do it. So first of all, you can simply just put a queen cell in each, dump a bunch of bees in them, put the feeder on top, and charge it just like you would a little mini mating nuke, where you're basically just pouring bees on top, give them nowhere else to really go, and a queen cell to take care of. You can go that route. What I like to do, I've told people to do, if you're wanting to get these drawn out, not have such a hassle to deal with them, pull these out, go down here to your dials, turn them open to where they're queen excluder, where the workers can go through, but the queen can't. And take yourself a 5-frame nuke that you already have laying around, or maybe you're going to do a split. So pull you out 5 frames and your laying queen on it. Drop them in. The queen's still going to keep laying and working over here. And then they're going to need room. So as they need room, these queen excluders open and the workers can go into here and start drawing out wax. As these fill up, you can pull them, put them in the freezer, give them empties to let them get all your minis drawn out. Then when the time comes to pull them, you have options to pull all these back out, put all your little frames back in, and drop queen cells in. You can even go the route, if you wanted to, of taking a nuke or a little hive you have in one location, moving it and putting this right back in that location so all the foragers keep coming back to it. Shake a bunch of those bees into it, or if you need extra bees when you're doing splits, you can let them raise their own queen cell while they build out over here. And once these queen cells are drawn out, you could cut a few out and spread them into here. And literally run this as just a 5-frame nuke and 2 little queen mating banks. That's an option. Let's see. You can also, and let me get something to represent a queen here. Let me get here's some color chips from some stuff from our other business here. So just grab some of these here. Grab one of these. All right. What you can do, put this guy back in. Oh, I put it in backwards. Yeah, it does make a difference which way you turn it. There's a channel to put your dividers in. That would make a big difference. Drop these in. So let's say you had a hive, a small hive that you're going to go ahead and try to use that queen to get things drawn out, but you don't necessarily want to keep a 5-frame nuke in it just because you want to split your bees and do things with them. You can put this back in that location, literally take the queen out of it, stick her in a chamber, the live queen that's laying eggs right now. Have all your queen excluders open between everything. Let her keep building brood so the workers can move around. The hive that she came out of, you can shake some bees down into here. The foragers are going to come in, but there's nurse bees and things in there that you want to shake down into here. So you have all different ages of bees to get started. They'll draw this out and she'll start laying eggs. Then as this gets filled up, you can take these eggs and brood, drop a frame, move a couple of them over here. You get one filled here. You can start filling these up and use this queen to charge everything with eggs and cat brood. And there should be enough good air movement through here that her pheromones should keep queen cells from being made. Now you can either get some eggs in all these areas, and as long as you have plenty of bees in here, you can pull her out and let them try to make their own, which is not the most efficient way to do it. You're probably grafting or cutting queen cells out from other frames you've prepped, and you're dropping them in. So you can just use her to get these ready. Then when it's time to drop all those queen cells in, just take her out and move her somewhere else. Then you can come back with your queen cells, drop a queen in each one of them. Make sure you have the queen excluders turned to the right direction. If you're going to start putting multiple queens in, I would either turn the screen over to where the bees can't get through it, but they can share some heat. But if it's summertime, you're not really worried about it, just close them off solid. That way there's no differences in kinds of pheromones from the queens when they hatch interacting. And then those are going to stay separated because you're going to have feeders on top of each of these. So as you have your queens inside mating, going out to do their own thing, when you come back to check and see what's going on, you can just open up the one chamber and you don't have all the other bees working and getting in it to deal with. Like I said, the bottom of these are ventilated. You can see there's ventilation holes around the feeders, and this whole thing is well insulated, so you're not going to have to worry really about them overheating if you're just getting them mated and moving through it like that. So I didn't show you with feeders is if you're going to run the 5-frame nuke, basically when you take the wall out and you put your 5 in, you can still keep these other queens separated, and you can just kind of sit these over the top. Let me just show you here. Let's take our little queen markers out. Sorry if it's a little loud. Got a mic on, it's close to the frames. So if you want to do it this way and you want to use these feeders, you need to leave this wall in and make it a 4-frame nuke. That way you have somewhere, you have something for this to sit on to seal everything up. So if you take this one out, you're going to have kind of issues of things floating around. So it's just something to keep in mind. So this is designed more for queen rearing, but it's a good way to put your other frames in and get them started. So if you're asking me the best way to probably get these going, just not necessarily the best, but the most user-friendly, I guess would be the way to put it. So, make sure there's a screen on this one and on this one. So you need to make sure to open both of those up to where you want them before you put that back in. What I would do is I would take 4 frames, just like that. Have your discs open, the queen excluder, so your workers can go through. And I would use these to feed the full-size frames and to keep them separated. And I would run 2 queen cells. I'd run one here and I'd run one there. That's going to be the easiest way to get them started. If you don't want to do a lot of mass queen production, you just like to have a few extras on the side, this is the easy way to do it. Just put your frames in like this. No queen cells yet. Put your laying queen right here. Let her start building out. They're going to need room they're going to go over. You can feed them, so you can keep feed on them so they have plenty of food to make wax with. And as these get full, pull them out, put new ones in, because they're not going to be able to put brood over there. They're basically going to be drawn on super frames. They're going to put your sugar syrup, your feed into them. As long as you keep track of what that is, you know, you're not going to extract it and trying to make honey with it. But as you pull those out, you can store those frames of feed in them, or you can just, I mean, they're small enough, you can extract it out, but if you get it in while it's nice and wet, not capped, after it's drawn, they start to fill it, you can literally just shake them and shake most of that out. Using to get that drawn. Say once you're all drawn up, you've got 16 good frames that are drawn out. Pull these out. Drop your divider in. Always remember where your screens are. If you're queen excluder, if you're closed, make sure to get those right. Got a mess going on over here. Drop those in. There's little things from the sit at the bottom. Make sure they're in there right. And now it's when you drop your queen cells, your virgin queens, whatever you want into them. Now what you're going to do, we like using these because we can put our deep frames in them and evaluate how well they've made it and drawn out. Gotten everything drawn out, they're laid out, you know, everything's going good. It's not going to take too long for the queen to fill these frames up, full of eggs, cat brood, a little bit of food. You're going to have everything you need in here, resource-wise, to keep this, you know, continuing on. Now you can pull this queen out and put her in a cage. Go do whatever you want with her, sell her, put her in a hive, whatever. Drop your never queen in and just keep continuing the cycle. Now you don't have to draw anything out. You don't have to charge anything because you have pollen, food, bee bread. You've got all your stages. You have everything in here to self-sustain. Now it's literally just let the new queen hatch out, lay everything up again, and repeat. And you can do that all through the summer long. Then when it gets time towards winter, I mean, I wouldn't necessarily overwinter minis like this. I mean, it's my climate, you couldn't do it. Some places you know, if you're really in the south, like Florida, South Florida, you could probably get away with it. But I'm going to take these frames, I'm going to spin out whatever food's in them, fake or real. If it's fake, I'll feed it something else. And just to get some use out of this, when I'm done making queens, end of the season, middle of the summer, once you get what you need, personally, what I'm going to do is pull both of these and put 4 frames and 4 frames and run 2 more nukes that way. And I can use these to make queens in if I just want to do a couple more and give them lots of room to get them ready to build up and transfer to overwinter. I can get one of them ready and overwinter in another hive, pull the dividers and leave everything in overwinter 1 in here. It's really just up to you. It depends on your climate and what you're looking for. They're really flexible. So if you want to run a full 10 in it, you can go for it. If you're trying to run a full one like that, your problem is going to be, I've got them buried. Goodness. Got a mess going on. There's nowhere for this to really sit. Once the frames are in, you can sit them on it. You know, if you want to run this as a full 10 frame, you're going to have frames here. Oh, goodness. That's what happens when you're not left-handed. And they'll sit on them okay. It's not going to completely seal off, but you're running a full hive in it, so that's not really your purpose. If you're just trying to overwinter in them, you know, you can use these for dry feed as well. Get them through the next year, then break them up and start again. So there's all those different options. So when you go to the website to buy these from us, we don't put the frames with them. We ship them separately, so you have to go select them as a separate item. So if you wanted to order a 20 pack of the minis, you'll have 16 for this and 1 extra for each quadrant. Or maybe you want to just do the 4 and the full size 5. So if you go to our website and buy you a 5 pack of deep frames and buy you a 10 pack of the little mini purple mating frames. So you'll have 4 and you'll have 1 extra for them still. So you can order either way, whichever way works for your system. And yeah, that's about it. I think I've taken long enough and made too much of a mess. So if you're actually still watching this, I appreciate you hanging around and watching me make a lot of noise and knock things over. And yeah, just be here and show this. So see you guys later. Thanks.